Welcome back everyone to Fun with Guns, and today we have the 522 SD by GSG, imported by ATI. It's a great little rifle. It's like a MP5 clone in 22 long rifle. So let's go ahead and get this party started. We got some fun sticks, and let's get to shooting. Oh, a little bit of a failure to eject there. Got kind of caught up there. Right now we are shooting Federal, the value pack. Let's see if we get this guy out of there. Not a good start. I've never shot Federal, so I'm not sure if this is an ammo thing. I know this gun does light strike every now and then, but let's just see. Other than that, you know, it's cycled pretty good. Got another bag here. See how she runs now. Oh. Light strike. Yeah, I mean, she's having a little bit of issues right now. I actually cleaned the mags before this. I had two other mags that one came with, I believe it comes with one magazine. I ordered another one. The one I ordered, it came in the box with these guys, but it had different screws up top. These are kind of like Allen screws that they have at the very top of these magazines. And the one I ordered had actual Phillips heads, so I don't know if that's a Pro Mag. Either way, the Pro Mag, it still worked fine. All my mags worked fine, but I went to clean those two, and I must have stripped out of grease. I'll roll in some B-roll. You can check those magazines actually had some grease in them, the new ones. So these new ones have a grease that came with them, pretty caked up, but it's helping them flow. I think when I cleaned them, I stripped that grease, so maybe I'll try picking up some grease and putting that in there, see what happens. Got some sunlight popping up. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the actual rifle. So this is an MP5 clone. It's an SD version. So it has all the similar characteristics of that model, H&K model. Has the faux suppressor. This is actually just kind of like a barrel shroud. So nothing fancy, it screws on and off. And then you have your barrel on there. And that guy will screw right back on. But I have found, even though this isn't a real silencer, it definitely does kind of slow, just quiet it down just a slight smidge. I brought out some 22 standard, CCI Standard, to shoot in this too, because I noticed last time I shot that it was extremely quiet. So we'll kind of do a demonstration on that later in the video. See how quiet it will run with that. The foregrip is really nice. I like the handguard. It has a nice rubberized, textured feel to it, so you can really get a good purchase on that guy. It has some standard sights. Now these are different. They originally came out with the fully enclosed covered sights with the hood on them, but they had to switch that out because they got sued by H&K. So you can still buy the kit to upgrade that and some other small parts throughout the gun to make it look more like the H&K version, but this comes with some very standard sights. And GSG has their well-known GSG sights that are nothing very crazy, nothing to write home about. But it's cool because they do come with replacement height sights, so you can really adjust the height on these guys and get it right on zero for you. Has the standard H&K slap charging handle, which I'm a big fan of. Makes it a lot of fun to play with. Now, one trick and one little piece of advice, if you want to have easier magazine insertion, go ahead and cock that back before, because after you're shooting it, the bolt will stay locked, and when you release the mag, it will stay locked, but this charging handle will be forward. So I recommend just bringing it back before you slap a new mag in. It'll make your life a lot easier. Then you're good to rock and roll. So that's the features on the front end here. Now this is a direct blowback. It's not a roller delayed like the HK, of course not. So it's just using the standard pressure to slap that bolt back and forth. So this is not a piston or anything in here. This is just your charging handle. Okay, now let's see if we're getting focused. It has the polymer upper, lower, and trigger pack in here. So it's all a polymer. It's very light with polymer rail on top. Now I've heard through the grapevine that this rail sucks. I haven't put any red dot on here. I wish I still had my TRS 25 from my Ruger 1022, but it's a long story. I traded that rifle for this one. I had a loved one I gave this to, and I wanted to make sure they had a very reliable weapon. So I traded them with the 1022. They had this, but I was like, hey, this is a better rifle. So I'm picking up another one very soon, and I'll get another red dot, same exact setup, but I'll put it on here and test it out. Now they do have aftermarket rails on this guy. So you can upgrade. I think ATI sells them for like 12 or 13 bucks. I've heard excellent things about upgrading that rail if you want to keep a red dot or scope on here and keep 0. On the back, we have your adjustable sights. Nothing too crazy. You can swap these out, I believe, with the actual HK sights, peep sights, but these are just your different adjustable sights on here, and I'll roll in some B-roll so you can get a closer up shot of those guys. On the back, you have your fixed stock. Basic polymer stock. It has a sling mount on this guy on the back, and I believe you can attach a sling here on the front of the trigger guard. For your magazine release, working our way down on the rifle, it's just a forward. So standard, if you have a magazine in here, typically I use my thumb and it works excellent. You can also, just like the HKs, do the push, and I don't even mess with that. It's too much for me. You have your safety on here. No full auto, guys, semi-auto. But you do have that. It's cool. It's okay. I love the HK look that they have. ATI did not go with that. Obviously, they probably couldn't for legal issues, but it's cool. It's got your red and white. I'm not a fan of the yellow that they put, like the yellow that they have on their sights, but it is what it is. It's a small issue, not a big one. The grip is very nice. I like the texturing. It's got a lot of ridges and bumps on there, so it gives you a great purchase on that with a little itty bitty shelf on the very end of that guy too. So it's kind of just some basics on this guy. We'll go into a little bit more details, stuff I like, don't like, and let's keep shooting. Okay guys, so now we're going to try it out with the Aguila. I believe that's how you pronounce it, Aguila. 40 grain super extras. These guys say that they are pushing out at 1,255 feet per second. So let's see how they run. Never shot these 22s before in my life, but I've heard good things about them for just plinking and stuff. So let's give it a shot. That ran perfect, no issues whatsoever. Let's give it another mag. Only picked up 50 rounds of this. Maybe I should have picked up some more. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. I think that might have been a light strike. Yeah, that's a light strike, guys. Another light strike, I believe. Yep. Speaking too soon, I'm jinxing myself. She's having some issues, guys. Yep. Let's see. it is barely striking these. It is barely. I mean, yeah, we've shot about 400 rounds, but she's been doing this since we got out here. Maybe that spring's worn down. Maybe there's a bunch of gunk in the bolt. That's what I'm thinking. Bunch of gunk in the bolt. Okay guys, now we have a mishmash of bullets that I loaded up in this guy. So we have, I believe, 5 of these bullets are the Federal Value Pack, so the Federals, and then 2 of them are the Aguila, and then the rest are the CCI Standard Pressure. Last time I shot this, the Standard Pressure were really quiet. I got 15 of those. This rifle is naturally pretty quiet, and I like how this foe suppressor doesn't get too hot. Nothing really gets hot on this weapon, no matter how much you shoot it. It's just slightly warm right now. So it'll quiet it down even more. Let's see how she runs, and let's get it. All right, that's the Federals. One off. One on, and here's the Standard Velocity. Light striking. Light strike steady. It's not fun when it does this. You hear that? Let's see. It's a lot quieter. I mean, it's still snappy, but it's a lot softer shooting. I think this would be some great ammo for like a new shooter to just not have that recoil, and you really feel the gun cycle and everything. It's really fun. I also want to point out that I did also own an H&K. Actually, I believe it was made by Walther, their MP5 22 clone, and that is a very pretty spot-on clone. Out of the two, I own these at the same time. I did get rid of that. I like this one better because it's lighter. That one is more of a kind of a MP5K clone. I believe it had the retracting stock, and it was really cool, but it was super heavy. It was at least a pound over this. I believe this guy's about 6.5 pounds. That one's 7.5. As far as trying to remember back, it's been 7 to 10 years since the last time I shot that rifle. So I don't exactly remember the reliability. I'm sure it's a very reliable platform, but I do like this guy because it is lighter. But, you know, to each their own. But that's still a great option. I just wanted to throw it out there. This is the lightweight GSG. I don't believe they make them in steel anymore or in metal. They had the metal receivers, but this is the light version. It's all polymer all throughout. All right, let's see what this long range is looking like, guys. I used to come out and shoot at the 100. This is the 50. My eyes aren't what they used to be. I used to be able to use these iron sights at the 100 and ring 4-inch plates, but not anymore. So this would be great if I had some optics, but I don't. She'll get it if you do your part. All right, now another thing that's good to note about these magazines is that they do have these assist tabs on them. They really help out. They're very easy to load. And they say they hold 22, but I've always been able to put 24 in there, and it's ran fine. So they'll really hold 24. Maybe just do 22 if you don't want to risk messing anything up. But yeah, really like the mags and the round count that they hold. Definitely makes it more fun for shooting at the range, less reloading. I don't know you, that's my purse. right, so there you have it. She's a fun little plinker. When she's running, man, she's running. And I will definitely put down in the comments and the description any updates if I get it fixed. So hopefully that will be the case. I've seen a good amount of reviews and heard a lot of people love this rifle, haven't had this many issues with it. I haven't until I got it back. Maybe she's mad at me. She sat for 5 years, never got shot. She's probably pretty pissed off. Maybe she's camera shy. I don't know. But either way, I still had a lot of fun. Still love it. But I will work on getting that light strike fixed, because that kind of ruins everything. You know, no matter how fun a gun can be, when it doesn't run, it can be very, very annoying. All right, yeah, that sun's about to go down. Man, so she was having some issues with feeding because I cleaned the mags and I didn't realize that they had a grease in there. Last week I came out and I was having a bunch of issues with feeding because the mags were dry, and it's my fault. I cleaned out the grease. Now she is having light strike issues. So that is the gun. That's the bolt. I believe I may need to completely disassemble the bolt, but I believe it's just a gunked up bolt with thousands of rounds. But yeah, let's see. There's something rattling. There's something rattling in here. Oh, I know what that is. The bolt plate, I think, came loose. That ain't good. That's holding the bolt in place. Well, this is an utter failure. I'm keeping it real with you guys. That's an utter failure. I don't even think that's safe. All right, so check this out, guys. I took the buttstock off because I was shooting it and it was rattling in the stock. And guess what came loose? This is the plate that keeps the bolt from sliding back. It goes right in here. And all this goodness came loose. This is not good. This is, I mean, you know, this is horrible. But I'll put her back together. We'll finish up the review now. But I can't hide this stuff from you guys. I gotta be honest. This is the reason that we do this stuff. I was trying to get the perfect horizon, sun falling over the hill shot, and right as the sun was going down, that bolt block that holds the bolt from going back came loose. So I tightened it back up. This has been an utter failure. I still love this rifle. Man. If I could just fix these light strikes, she'll be good to go. So like I said, guys, this is a very fun rifle. I thoroughly enjoy it at the range. Definitely not a self-defense rifle by any means. It's just made for going and having a ton of fun at the range, especially if you can't afford the real deal. And 22 long rifle, you cannot go wrong. Now keep in mind, it's been finicky today, and I haven't had this many issues before with light strikes. I might need to break that bolt down and actually clean it, because this gun has had over 5,000 rounds through it. We've ran almost through 500 just today, but all in all, I still love it. I'm gonna keep it honest with you guys. Make your own decision. I'm just putting this out there so that you can decide and see what experience I've had and just share my personal experience. This is a subject one of one. So there's a ton of other reviews and options out there for you to research. but in my opinion, it's still a fun, fantastic rifle, and you can get it for super cheap and have a lot of fun at the range. So thank you once again, guys, for watching, checking us out. Consider subscribing if you'd like. We are also on other platforms. We're on YouTube, Facebook, BitChute, and Gunstreamer right now. We're growing, so check us out over there. Not sure how much longer YouTube's going to keep us around, guys. There's some funky stuff going on in the works, so make sure you subscribe over there so you don't lose us. I really appreciate your support and checking us out. You guys have a fantastic day.